It's a beautiful, serene day on the Mersey riverfront. We're outside the Princess Dock in Liverpool, and this is where the cruise ships come and dock in. Beautiful setting, tranquil place. But I'm really concerned that things are happening in the Far East which are turning the world upside down. We're seeing the end of globalization. What does that mean when I say that? Globalization was when all the nation states basically gave their authority to international institutions like the United Nations, like the European Union, like the World Trade Organization, like the International Monetary Fund. They then decided policies and fed them back to the nation states, and the nation states put them into operation. And a whole structure developed in the world economy in which the financial centers were offloading manufacturing onto China. China was becoming the manufacturing hub of the world. And China was obviously therefore a key player in this process of globalization, because there was huge investment into China. The Chinese economy between 1980 and the year 2020 just ascended like a skyrocket. China went from like a third world rural economy into a hyper digital space age economy. If you go to Chinese cities now, they're incredible. The development in China has been absolutely awesome. And this has been based on the fact that the Chinese people are very intelligent and capable people, and have always been successful business people before communism and now post-communism. But so this was the global structure that evolved. But China had a place, like Japan had previously, as like secondary to the dominant powers, namely America. But China was never comfortable with that. China doesn't want to go through the Japanese scenario of rapid growth followed by a long period of stagnation. China wants to take over. It wants hegemony. It doesn't see itself as a pawn of America and globalization. It sees itself as the lead player, as who shapes the structures and is not determined by them. So China is opting out of globalization. It's refusing to play the game that America wanted to dictate. And instead it's formed an alliance with Russia and with now Iran, and it's moving strongly into the Middle East and into Africa. It's got what they call this highway, this Chinese highway across the world. They're building roads, they're building rail links, funneling everything back into China. They're buying up all the raw materials of the world, and they're making China into a global superpower. Not simply to challenge America, but to overtake America. And we're seeing this most vividly now in Taiwan, because Taiwan is an integral part of China. It was part of China for thousands of years. It's just an offshore island. It's about half the size of Scotland. But it's important in the control of the Far East, and America uses Taiwan as a base to control all the shipping lanes. Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, down to Australia. And they recently formed this pact now with the UK, Australia and America to patrol this region using nuclear submarines, i.e. to keep China in its place. But China will not go along with this. They won't submit. The Chinese have a great sense of superiority, that their civilization is much older than the West and is much more capable than the West, and they want to supersede us. They want to push us to one side. And so they're gaining up for war in Taiwan. This is really bizarre, because they're now making endless military flights above Taiwan. They're sending the Chinese Navy into Taiwanese waters, and we're responding in kind. The UK has sent over aircraft carriers to Taiwan. America is saying they will defend Taiwan. Japan wants to up the defense agreements. And there's like a creep towards war, which is accelerating. And it reminds me of the 1914, with what happened over Belgium in Europe, when Britain told the Germans not to encroach on Belgium. And we ended up going to a world war in defence of Belgium, which wreaked huge destruction on Europe, bankrupted Britain, ended our golden age, and left a million British people dead, and millions of Germans and French. Was it worth paying that price for the neutrality of Belgium? I don't think so. I think it was a crazy war. And we don't need a crazy war in the Far East. This is the issue. Because Biden is viewed by the Chinese not only as incompetent, but actually a fool, someone they can push around, you know, sort of coward essentially. The Chinese have lost any fear of America. They think they can provoke America at will. It's a dangerous game. So who knows, America might just snap back. But the vacuum in the leadership of America, what's happening in America? The Chinese are looking at this movement away from American traditionalism towards a woke society, a political correctness. And I think America has lost the plot, and to a degree it has. And this has given China the confidence to really assert themselves. China is taking this opportunity now. We all miss Trump, because the Chinese respected Trump. He was a strong leader. He was a man who was prepared to take action, and they respected that. But they have no respect for Biden whatsoever. They regard him as a waste of space, to be honest. So I'm really concerned about what's happening in the Far East. How do we respond to this? We need to get Trump back into the White House. We need America to assert itself again in the world in a way that is positive and effective, because what's happening at the moment is very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. China is not willing to be simply a junior partner in globalization. It's going to create its own world order. And of course the Russians are very capable as well. And we see in Iran has now got an agreement with Saudi Arabia in the Middle East, so that they're creating a new Islamic bloc to link up with Russia and China, and it's going to be capable of overthrowing the West. So everything that was seemed to be set in stone just 2 years ago is now unraveling at an incredible pace, and we're moving into a very unpredictable and a very dangerous world, not only domestically but internationally. And so there's quite a lot to focus in on at the moment. Thank you.